Hello, everybody. How are you doing? I am out in the shop. It is Sunday, and I'm going to do a little work today on mandrels. I made this mandrel for my bespoke on a budget turning, and I broke the end of it off. That end attached right here, and that was for turning the body. And then, of course, on the back side, I had a nib or section mandrel. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and make me a set out of aluminum. Now, whenever you guys are learning to make bespoke pins, I urge you to go ahead and use a blank because it's readily available. But if you have aluminum or brass in your shop, you can use that and your mandrels are going to last a lot longer. What's happening to me is I get about 3 pins, if I'm lucky, out of a mandrel, and then the mandrel just basically twists off right at the threads because there's a lot of torque on there. You think about it when you're turning a body blank and you're trying to true it up, so you're taking those edges off. Every time you hit those edges, it tightens and tightens and tightens, and eventually it just tightens so much that you can see, I don't know how well you can see that, but see how it's twisted like that? It literally just twisted that right off. So while I'm practicing and while I'm learning, I'm going to go ahead and make a set of metal or / aluminum mandrels because they're going to hold up a whole lot better, and I'm not going to have to deal with that issue, and I can move this process along. Number one, I don't waste time making mandrels every 3 pins or 2 or 3 pins. And number two, I don't waste a whole blank making a mandrel, which could actually make another pin. So I'm going to do this just kind of for me. And I've got 2 blanks here. These are the last 2 3/4 inch blanks I have. I got to get some more on order, some more aluminum. I'm just about out of aluminum. But I'm going to sit down today. I'm going to make my mandrels, and then we'll see what time it is and what amount of time I have left, to keep going. And hey, I'm going to tell you guys a little inside secret, and it's only going to go out to this channel. I'm not going to put it on the big channel. A lot of people have been replying on the the update video about Chaos Blank, and like, man, I sure hope I don't miss an invitation video. I sure hope I don't miss the invitation video. Let me tell you how you don't miss the invitation video. Number one, you subscribe to What You Do and Bob. And number 2, you click the bell. When you click the bell, every time I upload a video, you get a notification that RJB Woodturner just uploaded a video. That notification will say, hey, it's the first week of February. I better check this video out. And you won't miss the collaboration. Inside tip, you're only going to get here. So if you're following what you're doing, you know what to do to get in the collaboration. All right, I'm going to get busy on these mandrels. I got the old metal lathe set up and operating. We're going to start by squaring off the end of our blank, and then we'll come back. We'll true this up to 3/4 inch because that's the diameter of the collet chuck we're using there, or the spring collet. This is a little larger spring collet because my 3/4 inch aluminum is actually larger than 3/4 inch. So this one is 25-30 seconds. It'll hold that. But I've already got the other end. I don't know if you can see it right there. The other end's already turned down to fit 3/4. It's actually a little smaller than that. We're going to turn this into 3/4. This will be the end that we grip, and the end that's in the chuck will be the end that sticks out and goes into the back of our body blank. I just finished making a mandrel for my sections. This is a 12 millimeter mandrel, so I know exactly how large to make them so they fit inside the cap. Need to flip this around and turn the other end. Making progress on my body mandrel. She's turned down to 10 millimeters, and I need to continue turning this down before I can thread the back end of the mandrel. So we're going to get busy on that. Making good progress on our mandrel. Fits right on there. We've got to get it threaded so that we can use it. But overall, I'm really happy with how it's turning out. The mandrel is looking good. That should give plenty of support to my blanks so that I can turn them. Here is my new mandrel, and I've discovered that I will not be able to use this end of the mandrel, and the reason why is I didn't realize it, but I need to make an adjustment on my metal lathe because when I turned this down to 3/4 inch, or I'm sorry, yeah, 3/4 inch, and I grabbed it in the collet chuck, as I turned this, it trued it up. But whenever I put this in my wood lathe, it was wobbly, not wobbly, but you could lay your tool on here and the tool would bounce out on the end, had a little bit of run out. So I think there's an adjustment that needs to be made on my metal lathe. And when I put it in this way into my collet chuck and turn it, it's bouncing here as well. So what I did is I put a 1/4 inch collet in, I grabbed it like this, And then using a file, I actually used a carbide tool at first to clean it up a little bit at about 500 RPMs. And then I came back with a file and cleaned it up. And this is nice and true. And now when I put this in the lathe, there's no run out. It spins nice and true, and it's going to be a great mandrel. So I'm getting ready to turn a body of a bespoke pin. We'll see what it turns out and how it looks. She turned quite nicely. I am really excited with how it looks. I'm going to turn my attention now to shaping. Take a look at that. I am real happy. This new mandrel is going to work out great for turning these. And, you know, the whole reason why I made it is I initially made the mandrel out of another acrylic blank. And the whole reason why I went ahead and did one out of aluminum was because I got 3 blanks and it broke. And I kind of hate to keep using my blanks for mandrels, but when I could use them for pins. So to get started, it's a good idea. But later on, you're going to want to move to, you know, something a little more solid like a brass or an aluminum mandrel. There's my cap blank. I actually turned it way too thin and lost it. So a little disappointed about that, but that's not a big deal. Everything else is working great. And I'm super excited about the mandrels that I made today and the progress that I made. And I'm getting closer to wanting to do a live for you guys. The thing is now I've got a gentleman who said he would drive over here from Owensboro, Kentucky, which, I don't know, I guess it's about a half hour away. It's not really too far. Owensboro's pretty close. And he would proctor the YouTube live for me. The trick is now scheduling it, because I've got a couple of things coming up that are going to throw a monkey wrench in that. But once I can get it figured out and I can get a date scheduled, and then, you know, I need to work, of course, with his schedule as well, which is quite honestly more important than mine, because he's the one going out of the way to help me. So we want to make sure that, you know, we take into account whatever schedule he could work on. But we're going to figure it out. One Saturday or one Sunday, we are going to get together and we are going to do a live for you guys, and we're going to turn one of these. I'm pretty excited about it. I think you guys will enjoy it. And then afterwards, I probably will do a couple of videos on them just to really dial things in. But I think the live will be fun. So that's it for me for today. I'm hungry. I'm going to go eat. You guys have a great evening, and I'll talk to you again very, very soon. Bye-bye.